Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Eye of Wisdom, where knowledge becomes the wisdom of understanding. And so we are still on the topic on struggle, and then we are asking these very three good questions. What are we struggling to achieve? Why do we struggle? And who are we struggling for? Because sometimes, if you struggle for something, is that in what having in the first place? Please, guys, tell me what you think. And so today we are going to be talking about how useless I am. How useless I am. Because someone said to me that I was useless because I had no money. And so for many of us out there who are as broke as I am and who are as useless as I am, you are not alone. I'm with you. Let's all be useless together, because as long as you do not have money, you're useless. Because, please go and watch my last video where I talked about it. And so now I wasn't angry with the person that called me useless, because a part of me felt useless because of the way the society is. Because I could remember when I went to volunteer in an organization, they weren't really paying attention, to me until, someone came with a car with escorts and they all rushed, and they were calling him sir, because, he had money. No one paid attention, even when I wanted to volunteer, so I do not blame them, because at the end of the day, that's just the way the society is. But now the solution now is, what am I going to do? Should I steal? Should I go and kidnap? Should I, perhaps let me commit suicide and just get it over with, because I am useless, I should just die, But guys, if you're out there and people are calling you useless, you're not the only person. Even I myself, I'm also useless too as well, according to, people, according to someone. And so if I should kidnap, if I should steal, if I should commit suicide, then I am indeed useless. But again, there's one thing that we need to understand is that you might be useless in that man's eyes, but you are useful in the eyes of God. I tell you, because sometimes you do not know what God has planned for you. Because when he says I'm useless, I'm like, okay, he said this content that I'm doing is taking me nowhere, because I'm just wasting my time. And well, at the end of the day, I do not blame him, because he has money for now. I do not know what's going to happen tomorrow. So guys, please, if you're out there and you're as useless as I am, you're not alone. Let's all be useless together. But there's one thing that we shouldn't do. Don't prove them right. Don't go do something stupid, all in the name of the pressure that someone has mounted on you and told you that you're useless. You're not alone. I myself too, I'm useless, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to kill myself. It doesn't mean that I'm going to, try to steal or try to kidnap or try to scam someone. No, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, and someday it's definitely going to work. So guys, please, let's share this, repost it, and always remember that this is the wisdom, a place where wisdom becomes the knowledge.